Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the channel. I am Tyler Fikes. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Today we are going to be working on a new vehicle on the channel. It is an L5P Duramax 2019 GMC Denali. Super clean, super nice truck. I will be showcasing it here in a couple of seconds when I get over to the garage. We're going to pull the Duramax in and pull Duramax out. So today we are just going to be doing the full Kryptonite front end leveling kit. So that'll consist of 4 Fox shocks, the Performance Series, Kryptonite upper control arms and ball joints, Kryptonite tie rods, and Kryptonite leveling keys. Now what this is going to do for the truck is 1, give it a much smoother ride with the Fox shocks, the Performance Series. They're going to ride a lot better than the stock Rancho shocks that come on those trucks. And 2, it is going to level out / lift the front end of the truck about 2 inches to level it with the back. Because those GM trucks come 2 inches higher in the back on the 2500s and usually the 1500s when they are 4-wheel drive with the towing package. That way when you put a trailer on, the truck goes from like this to like this. It levels out. We put airbags in the back already. This is my buddy's truck, and he's never worked on independent front suspension before. I have. This will be my 3rd install of upper control arms, really a whole lift kit on the front end of an independent front suspension truck. So I offered up the garage. He's bringing it over right now. We are going to get it in there, and I'm going to kind of show you how to do the whole install. It's really pretty straightforward. It's you take old stuff off and put new stuff on. It's not a full lift kit. There's no cross members that have little drop brackets to lower the lower control arms. So we're just changing the angles of some stuff, and then when doing that, putting the upper control arms with the bigger ball joint kind of helps mild out the change in the angles, because you don't want everything cranked way up like this. So the new upper control arms, you mount the ball joints on the bottom, and then they're a little bit longer, and they kind of help with all the angles. So anyways, with said airbags in the back, that's not going to be an issue when towing trailers. He does put a 5th wheel on there occasionally. So, you know, air the bags up in the back, and it's going to keep that levelness that you want when towing. And then now without a trailer on the back, it's still going to look level. It's going to look a lot better, and it's going to gain the clearance that he needs to put the American forces. I think he's doing 20x10s and some 35s, or maybe 33s on the truck. Not 100% sure. I don't know if he's 100% sure yet, but when that happens, I will definitely be showcasing it again down the road, just a final update on the vehicle. But without further ado, let's do the swap, get his truck in the garage, and then we will check it out, because it is a pretty sweet truck. All right, so here is the truck. It is a 2019 Denali. Flog bumpers, front and rear. Looks super mean, super bad. Down the road, new wheels and tires will be coming, and amp research steps. Back bumper done as well, and here are the parts we are going to be installing today. We got a whole Kryptonite front end, upper control arms, and tie rods. So the front end's going to be beefed up a lot and be able to lift the truck up about 1 inch in the front. So we're going to get it up in there and start taking stuff apart. So here is the parts. You can see we got the big upper control arms, box fabricated, nice big ball joints, bigger than stock, going to provide a lot smoother of a ride and a lot more longevity and strength in the front IFS. We got our leveling torsion keys. We got the front and rear Fox shocks and the Kryptonite tie rods. You can see these things are huge and heavy, so they're pretty thick compared to those little pencil looking things that are currently on the truck. So we got the Duramax, the OG Duramax, in the driveway. We got the back end in the air, just barely floating, and just to feel like we're getting something accomplished, we are going to do the back shocks. That way the back half is done and we don't have to do anything else to it. You can see up in there we already have bags installed and the stock Rancho shocks. So we're going to be taking the Ranchos out and installing the Fox shocks. I will show you the end result. This is going to be the easiest part of the whole job. You literally just unbolt the top, unbolt the bottom. They're going to shoot out. You put the new ones in. They are bungeed so they don't undo until you cut them. You get the top one in, lined up and bolted, cut it, it shoots down to the bottom, and be quick. It helps to have 2 people, which I do, and you're gonna send the bolt through when it gets down there, tighten it up, same thing on the other side. Very tight fit, so it's gonna be hard to have a camera down here while we're doing it. So I'm just gonna show you the after product because it is so self-explanatory and easy, anybody can do it. First shock is in. We are being safe. We have our jacks down, and then we use this to vary the height of the body. That way we can line the shocks up. And the rear end is done. Took about 20 minutes. I'm hoping the front goes just as smoothly and easily. It will not. There's a lot more moving parts. We gotta take the torsion bars out, put the new keys in, new upper control arms, tie rods, bushings. It's gonna be a fun one. So now we're gonna go to the front, get that up in the air and start working. All right, next step is crawl under this very shortly lifted Duramax. Hop the front end up in the air on jacks. I have one tire on, jack stands down, jack there, just in case the jack stands fail, we're being extra safe. We're going to do the torsion keys first. So this side I have started, this side I have not, other than pulling the bolt out. Basically you just pull that bolt out, the bolt that adjusts the torsion keys. Then you throw this little clamp around it, and then you use this to lift the torsion key. You're gonna have it over here on the side. You're gonna lift the torsion key up, take this out, and then we have our new torsion keys that you put in the same exact way. Throw the bolt back through here. You're gonna take this out, put the new one in, put this back in, and put the bolt back through it, and then adjust it, and you are going to need an alignment after you get this done. This will throw your whole alignment off. The truck will be very cambered and towed in, so get an alignment lined up as soon as possible. I'm gonna get this one done. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so I got the old key taken out. You can see it's nice and rusty, and the new key right here, it's a little beefier. It's a little bit heavier than the stock one. And if you don't know how these lift the front end, so basically your torsion key loads the torsion bar that goes into the front end, and that's basically what gives it the spring. It's the same as a coilover or a leaf spring. Conceptually, it does the same thing. So the bar goes through, and then these are at a certain angle, and they rest on that little block, and then the bolt that you can adjust the height with goes into this second hole here. So when you push up on these more, they twist this more, which in turn is putting more torsion, more torque on the front end and raises the front end up. So you're in a way increasing the tension on the spring, so you're pushing down more, so it lifts the front end of the truck up more. I hope that is making sense. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick just in case anybody didn't know. And you can see on the angles that these ones are gonna be putting more torsion with the same amount of bolt showing than the old ones, and that's why those line up and these don't. So they're putting a different amount of torsion on them to lift the front end higher. It is adjustable, but like I said, you're going to need an alignment after installing this no matter what, and the more that you adjust it, the worse out of line it is going to be. I'm going back under the truck to get the new one installed. You can see I have the torsion bar out right there, so you just put the new one in, put the bar back in, reload the torsion bar, and then you're just gonna put this little thing that it sits on back in there, and then that's what your bolt threads through. So now we are gonna be working on the front end. First thing is you're gonna take the shock out, take the upper control arm out, and take the tie rod out, and then put it all back together. It is that simple. It's just a lot of work. So you need to take the shock out first in order to get the upper control arm out. All you're gonna do is unbolt it at the top, unbolt it at the bottom. The trickiest part is getting to all of these nuts and bolts, and then same thing, upper control arm, you just unbolt on both sides and pull it out. All right, side one is done. We got the new shock with 2 spacers, upper control arm, bigger ball joint mounted, big tie rod. So now we're gonna get going on the other side, and I will show you once it's all put back together. Is it gonna clear? Oh yeah, dude, you got plenty of room. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Thanks, buddy. That's gonna be easy to fix. Motherfucker. Like right now. right, we got it back from the shop. It got aligned about 9 months ago. So it is now December. This thing came out of the garage. You probably just saw it tearing up the floor. That was February 6th. So now it is December 4th. And same thing as my last video. I wanted to do a long-term review, not just how it looked going on and how to install it, but how it performed over 9 months. So 9 months later, I got an honest review and feedback from the customer. They are saying that riding around, just normal driving feels exactly the same as OEM, which is a good thing. These Denali's ride like Cadillacs from the factory. They're a really high quality, good truck, and they're gonna ride pretty smooth for being a big diesel truck as is. Thanks to the independent front suspension that GM provides, just what you're really gaining is these big box fabricated arms and these fat tie rods that are no longer going to be a weak point on the IFS, so you can take it off-road a lot more reliably and you're not going to have to worry about breaking things. However, they also said that after installing the Kryptonite leveling kit and the Fox shocks, it rides better under load noticeably. So just riding around without towing anything, it feels the same, which is a good thing. But under load, when they throw a trailer on there, they tow a fifth wheel, they say it rides a lot better, more firm and planted to the road. And that is always a good thing when you're moving around heavy equipment or any kind of big load, to be more planted on the road. And part of what is helping them with that is these big airbags they have in the back that replace the bump stops. And of course, these Fox shocks are going to dampen the roughness of the road a lot better than the OEM shocks would do. And if you guys want to get a pair of these, they are from Airlift. And I almost forgot to mention, part of why we waited is we were waiting on these new American Force 20x10 wheels paired with some 33x1250 Nitto Ridge grapplers. These things turn the truck from looking like a stock mom truck to a badass, basically a build. They have just a tiny bit of poke, which is plenty for this truck. As I said, it is my friend's mom's truck, so I would say this is one of the most badass mom trucks I have ever seen. And it doesn't need to be crazy, but these wheels and tires just totally makes it a badass truck. And with this leveling kit, we're actually able to clear these with very minor trimming of the liner and no trimming in the front because of the front bumper. Although we did kind of trim it just to hide behind the bumper, because prior to it was hanging down to like here, so we had to cut off some of that. So overall, badass build. Super glad we did the leveling kit. It's a great mix between a daily driver and almost looking like a show truck. This thing is really nice. Like I said, 2019, my truck's a 99. GMC has definitely came a long way from 1999 to 2019. 20-year difference, and it sure does look like it. So anyways, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think of the truck down in the comments. Make sure to hit a thumbs up. I definitely think that Kryptonite front end beefs the GM suspension up and makes it a little more what it should come from the factory. It's just too small from the factory and has a lot of weak points. Yeah, it's going to ride great, but if you ever take it off-road, you're putting yourself at a higher risk for something to break. So now that we have done the Kryptonite leveling kit to the front end of this truck and put some Fox shocks on, it's going to ride a little bit better, as we saw with the 9-month review, and it's going to hold up a little better if they're ever taking it off-road. And on top of that, you get to clear a little bit bigger wheels and tires, which you saw they did on their truck. And I think it makes the truck tied together look super badass. I love the way it came out. Personally, I have always been a fan of the GM trucks anyways, GMC, Chevy, but that's just a really clean, good-looking truck. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. To see more trucks alike down the road, we got more projects coming. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, see you later.